This is my favorite offense in college football 25. Now, Michigan, Coastal Carolina, and South Carolina all have the offensive playbooks needed to run this offensive scheme. I'm running 4 different offensive plays, and each and every one of them has potential to be a big one-play touchdown. And yes, I did stunt on my opponent like this. Now, the formation is going to be spread Y flex weak out of either 3 of those offensive playbooks, and our audibles are all going to feature one of these motion routes. So the first audible that I set is the halfback slip screen. I keep inside zone inside of here. I will also select the whip cross and then motion bench play to have all 4 of these audibles set up properly. Now, the first play we're going to run is motion whip or mountain whip, whichever one you like to call it. This play call is going to be completely stock, and your reads are really every single player on the field. The main read that I like to throw to is going to be your B button, who goes on his motion to the left side and then whips back out to the right side. The nice thing about this play is that you also have a corner route, which I threw an awful pass to, and then you also have on the far left side of the field, you have what seems to be a deep drag route, a nice in route, as well as your halfback going on an out route as well. So you have a bunch of small routes that go out on the field, and every single one of these has a big chance to get open. Now, the reason why I showed that play first is we're taking a look at the halfback slip screen as our second play. This is because we're conditioning our opponent. That first play has a whip and a corner route to the right side of the field, which should force your opponent's user to typically trail off to the right. This slip screen is on the left side of the field and also features that exact same motion out of your wide receiver. What this does is kind of forces your opponent to pause or freeze, which makes sure that you're able to get this ball to this running back on the left-hand side and pick up some pretty big yards. Worst case is when you go back to your whip play, you're going to have even more time now because your opponent's worried about the screen. Now, I know people don't like hearing about an inside zone, but just hear me out with this one. After you've ran the slip screen and you've run the whip to the right side, typically your opponent is now going to be going towards one of those sides, which means that an inside zone out of a quick snap is going to work extremely well because your opponent should be expecting some sort of motion. If your opponent doesn't move because of the motion, what you can do is manually move that wide receiver to the left side of the field and then run the ball up the middle. You should be able to pick up 5 to 10 yards every single time with this run. Now, the last 2 plays I want to talk about is bench and then also double post. Bench is probably the more important play between these 2 because it still features that corner route that whip does, as well as the same route out of your B receiver. The difference between this is that you're going to have a curl route on the left, as well as a route that goes directly over the middle of the field that isn't necessarily a drag, an in, or a slant route, but more of a mixture of every single one of them combined. The beautiful thing about this play in particular is that you do have that curl route, so when your opponent does try to chase, either that B route that goes on the whip or trails that guy over the middle of the field, that typically allows for that curl route to get open on the play. Now, the last play I want to show you is going to be double post, which is something I don't run too often, but this is a pretty reliable play when you're going up against somebody that likes to blitz. What I like to do is throw my A button onto some sort of crossing or post route, because what that is going to end up doing is giving us some open space on the far left side of the field. If you like this video, YouTube thinks that you like both of these videos as well, so give one of the 2 a try. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments.